When you're a go, go, go person like I am, free time doesn't just happen. You have to create it. You have to block out the time. You have to be intentional about me time.
It's time to exhale and be motivated. And it's Blue Couch. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, to all of you, Annie's crew. Welcome back to the Annie's Blue Couch. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. Now, before we get into today's conversation, I want to remind you to please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and as always, please do me a huge favor and share this video with at least 2 of your friends. The beginning of the year is often full of planning. We set goals we want to accomplish, we get rid of old clothes, we declutter our homes, we even let go of people or friends we know won't be beneficial in the new year. But in all the goal setting and planning to do or not to do, we often neglect the most important piece to the equation: us. If you neglect to take care of you, you'll end up run down, burnt out, lonely, and oftentimes even unnecessarily angry and on edge. Last week we talked about low self-esteem, and the week before we talked about loneliness. These two topics go hand in hand for a number of reasons. If you missed them, don't worry, I'll leave links in the description box below, so when you get through here, you can check it out. Today, I want to add a third piece to this puzzle, and that's self-care. Listen, if you are going to do all you set out to do this year, you are going to need to intentionally set aside time for self-care. Now, what is self-care? There are 2 definitions that I absolutely love. The first is specific to the physical, more tangible parts of you. And that definition says, self-care is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. Now, the second definition I really love, and it deals more with the intangible. And it says the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness. I really like protecting there. Protecting one's own well-being and happiness, especially in particular during periods of stress. And boy, have we been under some stress for some time now. For today's conversation, I want to give you 6 tips to help you get started with your own self-care routine. My first 3 tips will deal with the physical, tangible parts of you. It's pretty basic, but if you are not currently doing these things, I have to be the bearer of bad news and tell you that you are not caring for yourself. And we definitely want to change that. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, get enough rest. Sleep is so important, and I love it because it's free. Just go to bed, turn off the distractions, and close your eyes. All my Jamaican friends out there would say, close your eye, them. Now, tip number 2, establish a healthy diet. What you put in is what you'll get out. If you stuff yourself with grease, you'll be sluggish. If you fill yourself with sugar and caffeine, you'll have super highs, but get ready for the crash from the super lows. There's that old saying, treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, treat your body the way you want it to treat you. You want it to work for you. You want it to be alert and attentive and responsive. Well, give it the fuel it will need for that. And don't forget to drink lots and lots of water. Now, tip number 3, exercise. Jumpstart your day with a brisk walk or a jog, or you can incorporate exercise throughout your day. Maybe you can do 25 jumping jacks every time you use the bathroom. Or maybe you can do 5 or 10 push-ups between commercial breaks on your favorite show. Or maybe you can start a plank challenge with a friend. The point is, get moving. You'll feel better and your body will thank you. Now let's get into the not so tangible things. Tip number 4. Learn to say no. It's time to get a no way down in your spirit. You cannot say yes to everything. I know you don't want to disappoint people, and I know you can do it, but because you can doesn't mean you should. Now, I'm not saying walk around with an attitude and just say no to everybody and no to everything, but I am saying that every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to you. And if you do that often enough, you'll end up looking or at least feeling like a rag doll. So learn to say no. Now, tip number 5, be intentional about me time. It doesn't have to be a big, expensive to-do. Maybe you love candles. Get a few from your local Dollar Tree and set it up in your bedroom. Turn off the lights and just relax. Or maybe you love massages. You can schedule one once a month and make sure when you plan that nothing else is planned for that day. So after the massage, you can relax and just take it in. Or maybe you have a favorite chair in your house and you just need to set aside an hour every weekend to sit in it. Put on some comfortable PJs, get a cup of your favorite tea, and a remote control so you can get in an hour on your favorite TV show. When you're a go person like I am, free time doesn't just happen. You have to create it. You have to block out the time. You have to be intentional about me time. It's not going to come to you. You have to plan it. And for my final tip, tip number 6, practice being thankful. Appreciate who you are and what you do. When you beat yourself up about imperfections, mistakes, etc., you increase your own stress levels. And that's the opposite of self-care. That's self-destructive. Our imperfections make us human. And being thankful for everything, the good, the bad, the in-between, it actually makes us magnets for more things to come for us to be thankful for. I'm reminded of a story of a man who had one banana left to eat. He decided he was going to go up in a tree, eat the banana, and die. After unpeeling it, he dropped the skin to the ground, and another man passing by picked up the banana skin and ate it. The man in the tree thought to himself, I thought I had it bad. And he got out of his pity party, climbed down from the tree, and had a new perspective on what he had. No matter what you're going through, be thankful. There is someone somewhere who would love to have what you have, live where you live, drive what you drive, or be who you are. So be grateful. It lowers your stress levels and gives you an increased appreciation on your life, which will ultimately cause you to care more for it. So let's recap my 6 tips to help you get started with your own self-care routine. Tip number 1, get enough rest. Tip number 2, establish a healthy diet. Tip number 3, exercise. Tip number 4, learn to say no. Tip number 5, be intentional about me time. And tip number 6, practice being thankful. Self-care is critical to combating loneliness and low self-esteem. I really pray these last 3 weeks of conversations have encouraged you to appreciate who you are and even challenged you to take the steps you need to become a better you. The key to successful self-care is right there in the name, self. Self-care for me may not be self-care for you. You know what you need. You know the areas you've been neglecting yourself in. Stop feeling guilty for wanting to take care of yourself. In order for you to take care of others properly, you must first take care of yourself. I pray today's conversation was helpful. If so, go ahead and hit the like button and leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think. And I just know there was at least one point in this conversation where someone else came to mind that you thought needed to hear this. So go ahead, share this video with them so they can get on the road to self-care with you and I. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until next time, remember, you are beautiful, you are special, your smile is amazing, and don't let anyone or anything ever make you feel less than who and what God has designed you to be. Annie's crew, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Bye for now.
Annie's Blue Couch.